Stories that matter to your safety.
We've had people poked by needles. We've had an employee attacked.
Stories about protecting your rights.
How many of you believe that companies do discriminate against people with a cancer diagnosis?
Yeah, absolutely.
And holding the powerful accountable.
I think he needs to be fired.
This is a special presentation of KIRO 7 Investigates. We begin with one woman's terrifying story about the day police burst into her home, guns drawn, because of a mistake that could have been avoided with a simple Google search.
KIRO 7's Lindsay Sheldon investigates the raid gone wrong. It started like any other day.
My hair is wet, I'm getting ready to dry my hair, and all can change.
Nancy Gill was in her bathroom when suddenly
it was bam, 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 Seattle police. Drop the weapon, open the door. They're doing it at the same time, and then they blew the front door off.
Nancy hit the floor, believing a burglar had broken in.
They're shouting.
You're thinking a bullet could come through?
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to get caught in the crossfire and I'm going to die on my bathroom floor.
Then
it starts jiggling, and the voice says, Seattle police, drop the weapon. Who's behind this door? And I said, I own the house. Was the first thing I said. I said, I own the house. I don't have a weapon was the second thing I said. And I'm down there.
Nancy crawled toward the door, unlocked it, and turned the doorknob.
I just remember this part of his hand at the bottom of the gun. And I forced myself I just forced myself to look at his eyes. And I thought, I'm thinking I'm rescued.
But what she says happened next stunned her.
He says, I have to arrest you and take you into the precinct for questioning. And now I know there's no bad guy in my house.
Nancy says she was handcuffed painfully, despite injuries from a prior car accident.
Do you tell him how painful it is when you're handcuffed?
Yeah, I said that this hurts. I've had spinal fusion.
And then the Seattle police officer asked her about this man.
I don't know anything about him. I didn't even know his name.
His name is Stephen Fisher. You might remember him from our coverage of his federal court case, where he was found guilty of robbery, attempted robbery, and 5 counts of impersonating a federal officer. That includes a special agent named Jack Ryan.
You broke the law.
That's right, the Tom Clancy hero often played by Harrison Ford. So how is he connected to Nancy? I requested the Seattle Police's search warrant affidavit, where officers stated that Fisher claimed to live with his mother at Nancy's Lake Stevens address, that he had the same address on his driver's license, and it was the same address he provided to the King County Jail. But at the time of the raid, Fisher didn't live there.
What questions do you have for Seattle Police?
Can't you just check Zillow? It was so easy. You type in the address.
There it was when we checked, too. Sold months before the raid, May 24th, 2017.
Snohomish County property records showed the same thing. Stephen Fisher sold the house to Evolve 119th LLC, entered here in the system on March 1st, and they sold the house to Nancy Gill in May.
The raid that caused all this damage was 3 months later, in August.
So we asked Seattle Police if they checked county property records before suddenly showing up.
But Seattle Police refused to answer, writing, while we cannot comment further on pending litigation, we believe this search warrant was lawfully executed. And they did not answer my follow-up question. What can our viewers expect SPD to do before searching a home?
The whole door came off.
Fortunately for Nancy, she knew a police officer in the robbery unit. Officers called him, she says, and sorted out the mistake. But Nancy says that's not enough.
I'm concerned that you have to know somebody in the Seattle Police Department for it to end the way, to be let out of handcuffs. What if I didn't speak English? Then what?
Lindsay Sheldon, KIRO 7 News.
Nancy Gill is suing for damages. She says that includes injuries to her back from the handcuffs and also income lost after she couldn't work for months and lost her job.
A South Sound EMT is accused of assaulting a woman he was supposed to help, and the whole thing was captured on camera. KIRO 7's Allison Grandy uncovered years of complaints against the same EMT and asked why he's still on the job.
I knew immediately what he did was wrong. It was like, oh my God, you just assaulted me.
Jody Rudolph is still upset about the incident caught on camera outside Good Samaritan Hospital. In April 2018, she sat in the passenger seat of her dad's car outside the ER. Firefighter EMT Sean Clayton walked up to the car.
The window was open, and when he came by, he kicked the car, and then he grabbed, right as he kicked the car, he grabbed my hair. So he just came by and just yanked it really hard, and that, snapped my neck back.
Her dad watched in disbelief.
He comes in and he goes boom like that. He reaches in and starts doing this. And that's when she kind of came to and said, hey, you're assaulting me. She said, you're a royal b****. I've been to your house 4 or 5 times and you're no good.
But Jody Rudolph had recently moved back from Hawaii and says Clayton had not been to her house.
I think he had me mistaken for somebody else.
Somehow I got him away from her. That's when he told me I was going to jail.
Clayton told investigators he grabbed her hair to open her airway. Hospital staff said they told Clayton she was fine and breathing and that he wasn't needed at the hospital. Her dad called 911 for police, not fire, to escort her inside.
He told staff that it was his scene. He told them to F off. It was his scene.
That moment came on what already was a traumatic night for Rudolph, who admits she'd been drinking and taken some pills. Her dad didn't know how many and took her to the hospital. Despite what happened, they did not report Clayton.
I just figured nobody would believe me. And then when I found out there was a video of it, that's when I was like, okay, I can be heard. And you can't deny what's on the video because it's clear as day.
Someone else who witnessed the incident made an anonymous complaint to the state. An investigator from the Department of Health contacted the Rudolphs 6 months later. Puyallup police were contacted too. Clayton is charged with misdemeanor 4th-degree assault for the incident. In May 2018, Central Pierce Fire and Rescue notified Clayton they plan to terminate his employment, citing repeated misconduct, repeated violations of the philosophy and culture document, and repeated violations of the code of conduct and improper performance of the assigned duties of an acting officer.
I think he needs to be fired, absolutely.
But instead of Clayton being fired, after a meeting with his union, Local 726, Clayton entered into a last chance agreement with the fire department. He was suspended for 5 shifts without pay and given final warning status. Any future violation would result in immediate termination.
He shouldn't be in a position like that, period.
KIRO 7 found this is Clayton's second last chance agreement. His first was in 2005 when he was going through the recruit academy.
He had second last chance and this and that, and he should never have been there. He should have been in that position to do that to anybody. But he had a history of doing it.
We uncovered Clayton has a long list of complaints, including being disciplined for shouting at ER staff at Good Samaritan Hospital in September 2017. In March 2015, an L&I case manager handling Clayton's case filed a complaint against him for rude and demeaning behavior. And in September 2015, a coworker complained he is concerned with Sean's volatility and that he has the tools to be violent.
It's scary, and then he's still working. That's what's even more problematic.
The Rudolphs don't understand why Clayton is getting so many chances.
If he's doing that to me in a public place, when he's out on calls to private residences and other women or men or whoever, who knows, how he's treating other people.
I reached out to Central Pierce Fire and Rescue to ask them why Clayton is still employed. They told me he's on paid leave as they wait for the outcome of his assault trial and the investigation by the Department of Health that could have the state revoke his EMT license. Clayton's union told us, we are aware of these serious allegations. The matter is currently under investigation by the proper civil authorities. This matter does not change the fact that firefighters continue to serve our proud public every day at fire stations throughout our district.
I'm upset, one for myself, one for my father, one for the system, because it's not working if we have these type of people consistently doing bad things and not getting reprimanded or being accountable for them.
Allison Grandy, KIRO 7 News.
KIRO 7 reached out to Sean Clayton for an interview and did not get a response, and his attorney had no comment. Jody Rudolph filed a tort claim against Central Pierce Fire and Rescue, seeking $250,000.
Still ahead, facing a cancer diagnosis and a fight to keep your job. KIRO 7 investigates claims of illness discrimination and what can be done to fight it. Imagine fighting for your life and your job at the same time.
Now, we have heard from numerous people who say a cancer diagnosis threatened their career. KIRO 7's Amy Clancy explores the workplace discrimination that can affect both survivors and caretakers.
Castle Huffacker was hired by Schulten's Equipment in Linden to be a receptionist and web manager.
I actually really enjoyed working there.
After 3 years on the job, she was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma and claims her boss was very accommodating at first.
He said word for word, take off all the time you need.
Huffacker acknowledges she missed work for appointments and chemotherapy, was only able to put in 10 to 15 hours a week on the job, but says her illness did not impact productivity thanks to coworkers.
So the work was getting done.
Huffacker is now suing her former boss in federal court. Her lawsuit claims owner Dwayne Schulten told Huffacker she was milking the time she was taking off for chemotherapy. Schulten allegedly criticized Huffacker for her hair loss, telling her that she was purposely trying to draw attention to herself by not wearing a wig or hat, and that her bald head would make employees and customers uncomfortable. 3 months after Huffacker filed a claim with Human Resources, she says Schulten fired her.
I honestly think it was because of my cancer.
So does her attorney, who told KIRO 7 because Huffacker asked Human Resources for help, her job should have been protected under state and federal law.
If you exercise this right to request accommodation, you cannot be fired.
How many of you believe that companies do discriminate against people with a cancer diagnosis?
Yeah, absolutely.
I proved it in the court of law.
These 4 cancer survivors and caregivers told KIRO 7 illness discrimination is real. After 15 years as finance director for Mercedes-Benz of Seattle, Troy Coachman was unexpectedly fired.
I was terminated.
Why?
Because I have a stoma and I speak with a voice prosthetic.
Coachman sued the former owner of the dealership and won a $5 million settlement. That verdict is being appealed, and a decision is expected later this year. Meanwhile, Coachman said he didn't sue for personal gain.
I never did it for the money. I did it for what he did to me and what employers do to people who do have a disability or who are different.
Steve Freusland was laid off after a 14-year tech career.
What did cancer do to your career?
I think that cancer held me back.
The Seattle man was in and out of the hospital for 2 years battling bone cancer while trying to maintain his career. He blames cancer for his current unemployment, but does not blame the company for laying him off.
When your medical bills reach almost $1 million and you only have to pay a small portion of that, they saved my life.
Freusland has been diagnosed with PTSD and now has a therapy dog to help with anxiety. His job hunt so far has been unsuccessful.
Are you afraid that your cancer history may impact your job prospects?
I'm always afraid of that.
A fear shared by Christina Childs.
I'm afraid that an employer will discriminate against me because of my cancer.
Childs not only knows how those with cancer can be treated, she also believes caregivers suffer discrimination. As a company vice president, Childs was told by her boss to choose between caring for her dying sister or her career.
I took up vacation days, I took up sick days, I notified HR that this was happening. They sat me down and said, you can hit your numbers or you can go. And I left.
Soon after her sister died, Childs was also diagnosed with breast cancer. She's now healthy and looking for work.
I'm afraid they're going to find out that I've had cancer and that I'm a liability.
Kelly Moodliar's 12-year accounting career ended when her 36-year-old husband Parmesh was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. Moodliar says she repeatedly asked her company if she could step away from management duties to take her husband to treatment.
It was important to me to not leave my team hanging or the company.
But after 6 months, no changes were made. So Moodliar quit to care for her husband, who died at the age of 39.
You're choosing between the company and to toe the line or your family, and it's just a difficult place to be.
Cancer is often a taboo subject on the job.
Everybody is afraid to mention it.
Elizabeth Clymer heads a program called When Cancer Comes to Work at Cancer Pathways in Seattle. According to Clymer, 1 in every 3 people will be diagnosed with cancer during their lifetime. 50% of cancer survivors are of working age. 80% of them will eventually return to work. However, despite the prevalence of cancer, many people are too fearful to tell anyone in the workplace about a diagnosis.
We hear, if I tell my boss, they're going to think I'm not capable to do it. You need support of your company, you need support of your colleagues. When cancer comes to work, everybody is affected.
When cancer came to KIRO 7, Michelle Millman was a 15-year veteran reporter and anchor.
Shaved my head, lost my eyelashes, lost my eyebrows. Those changes were very difficult, being that I worked for decades in a visual medium.
Millman was able to take a 6-month leave of absence to recover from surgery and chemotherapy. On her first day back to work, she started radiation. Within days, she was back on TV.
And there should be plenty of tulips in bloom.
While still bald.
In the Skagit Valley, Michelle Millman, KIRO 7 Eyewitness News.
Had my scarf on and just, barreled through it.
Millman also wanted to return to the anchor desk, but the news director at the time expressed concern about her very, very short post-chemo hair.
And he said, "What would you think about wearing a wig?" And I said, "I don't want to wear a wig. I am just, this is who I am. This is what's going on."
A few weeks later, however, the boss gave his blessing.
For him to do that, the news director, the television station, was pretty great. And I did. And boy, did I hear from viewers.
Now 9 years post-cancer, Millman believes workplace support helped strengthen her during the fight of her life. And she's thankful she could share that battle with the public.
I know it's still happening where people are hiding it. They're not going to tell work. They can't tell work. What happens? Work's going to fire me. Well, now you're shining a light on the fact that, yeah, work might fire you.
Amy reached out to Mr. Schulten and his attorney, but never received a response. The lawyer did file a motion to dismiss the case, denying the company ever discriminated and claiming it took reasonable steps to accommodate Huffaker's illness.
Up next, homeless camp hazards, how trash and theft are putting Roadwork at risk.
When you commute late, KIRO 7 is here for you at 7.
With fresh news delivered on your time. Here's what we know right now.
Live with breaking news so you can see what is happening right now.
Here is a live look from Chopper 7.
Local with a forecast that looks ahead. Here's what you need to know before you head outside tomorrow.
And in depth with hard-hitting investigation.
They give you more information.
We found the top 3 spots drivers are most likely to be ticketed.
We're here for you every day so you know more.
KIRO 7 News at 7. Live, local, and in depth. When you get home, we'll catch you up.
KIRO 7 at 7.
Hazards along local highways are delaying critical road work.
KIRO 7's Graham Johnson explains how homeless camps are making a dangerous job for state transportation workers even more dangerous.
Most of us see the homeless camps beside our freeways as we pass by. For Jim Buss, they're in his workplace.
I do traffic signals.
An employee of the state DOT, he needs to get to these metal cabinets. When we came along in South Seattle, we stopped at an intersection near I-5 with 2 panhandlers and a tent.
I mean, here we've got a tent 20 feet away. Is this pretty typical?
At some locations, I mean, it does happen.
Beneath an overpass, Buss showed me a box someone yanked down and pried open. Inside, a fiber optic line that lets engineers run the traffic signal remotely.
So is it out of service right now?
It's not out of service, but we're going to have to cut it, pull it back, replace that box and all the assembly, and then put...
That's because somebody tried to get into it.
That is correct.
At our next stop on South Dearborn Street, we parked beside a big pile of trash, including old needles.
I look at everywhere I step.
Watch yourself right there.
Yeah, right.
Turns out that was just the needle plunger.
We've had people poked by needles. We've had an employee attacked.
Dave McCormick is the DOT's Assistant Regional Administrator for Maintenance.
It is routine to come in contact with human waste on the right-of-way. 20 years ago, I could walk the I-5 corridor in street shoes. There is no way I would walk the I-5 corridor in street shoes anymore.
McCormick says biohazards are a big concern for bridge inspectors who often work in tight spaces. If it looks like this beneath a bridge, a cleanup is needed first.
And even then, if it was you, you'd be concerned about being on your hands and knees as you're going underneath one of these structures.
We filed a records request for complaints from DOT workers and got a lot of photos, many from Pierce and Thurston counties. The signal superintendent of the Olympic region wrote of an epidemic of homeless encampments near signal cabinets, making it difficult for crews to access them. There are pictures of fences destroyed and wires cut in metal boxes. One photo you don't want to see of a splattering on a new box in Tacoma had this description. This is the type of gross and unsanitary things we come across on a daily basis, along with needles, garbage, rats, etc. Sometimes the work is done at night. In Thurston County, a crew reported as many as a dozen people living near a signal box. One worker emailed, "It was a little uneasy with questionable characters glaring at us while working and having to watch your every step in the dark."
So it's making a dangerous job even more dangerous.
Oh, clearly. More stressful, more dangerous.
And there's something else. Encounters with hazardous materials and sometimes volatile people is affecting how our highways are maintained.
If we go out to do that guardrail job and people are camped adjacent to the guardrail, then we have to cancel our work.
How often does that happen?
It's fairly routine that we'll walk away from our project.
Crews come back another time hoping people have left, or they wait for the area to be posted for no trespassing and a cleanup authorized and scheduled.
Which means we're wasting money. We're not getting maintenance done that we need to do.
Dave McCormick tells me there's no estimate of the money or productivity lost because of encampments, but the DOT spends $1 million every 2 years removing them. Preventative maintenance by workers like Jim Buss helps keep traffic flowing and lowers the odds of something suddenly breaking.
Have you been stuck with a needle yourself or anything like that?
I have not. I mean, I've had them on my boot.
When Buss encounters someone threatening, he follows his training and backs off or leaves.
I have to be an expert at this. I can't be an expert at that.
You're not a social worker or a cop.
No, I am not a social worker nor a cop.
During our visit, Jim Buss was able to get his job done. But these days, on and around Washington's highways, that's no guarantee. In Seattle, Graham Johnson, KIRO 7 News.
If you have a story you want KIRO 7 to investigate, we want to hear from you. Send an email to investigate@KIRO7.com.
We are committed to bringing you investigations that matter on the air, online, and on our streaming channel 24/7.
Thank you for watching.